Yo, what is up everybody? Arashi here, back again with another upload. And in today's video, I'm gonna actually come up with a little theory based on what we saw in episode 8 of Bad Batch Season 3. This episode was a little bit slow, but we did get some good information more towards the end of the episode though, so the beginning is really just kind of, just them running around. But the thing that I want to talk about today is, does Omega actually have a midichlorian count? Is she actually a Force-sensitive clone? Now, obviously, Force sensitivity varies. This also includes Crosshair as well. There's also a possibility that he's actually Force-sensitive himself. Now, whoa, as you guys automatically think for some reason when I say Force sensitive, you guys automatically think a very powerful Jedi. No, Force sensitivity just means there's varying amounts. Like, you can just be somewhat Force sensitive, you can just feel into the Force a little bit. Doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be some badass Jedi or badass Sith running around the galaxy. That's not what I'm getting at here. So some of the guys who think that, you guys really need to get that out of your head. But anyway, back to the topic at hand. In this episode, we also see Omega and Crosshair meditating. Now, Omega said that she picked this up from Gungi back when she was on Kashyyyk, but back during season 1 or season 2. I can't remember necessarily which season it was, but correct me in the comment section down below and later, just let me know. Now, in this episode, Omega actually gets Crosshair to visit Z, in which Z says that it may actually just be on his head for his reasoning for why he can't aim straight right now or why he's missing all these shots nowadays. Now, this does shoot down my last theory, but it does actually prove that Crosshair has anxiety and some form of trauma from when he was actually being experimented on back on Tantus. But now too, this also proves that my last theory is completely out the wall now that they did not extract his mutation from his body. It's actually just his mental game, which plays a huge part into anything that you go into, including in life, anything like that. So his mental side is just not all the way there, which is causing him to shake and miss shots. This is what Omega's meditation, I believe, is going to help him achieve and get back, and he's going to actually get over this. Now, what this means for Omega is, I believe that this is actually going to lead her down a path of more stronger Force powers, because I believe that she is fully Force sensitive and she actually has to tap into it. Now, the Empire's been sending out bounty hunters to actually capture anybody with high M counts, and this is actually leading towards Omega and why they're so dead set on Omega. They want Omega back the most out of anybody in the galaxy, because I believe that she has the highest midichlorian count out of everybody that they're looking for, and her blood matches up with Palpatine's the most and the best. I also believe that much like Sabine, this will actually end up with Omega being fully Force sensitive towards the end of it, and her powers may vary in between Force sensitivity. Now, will she pick it up just as fast as Sabine did? I have no clue, but as we do know that this actually takes place far before Sabine actually becomes Force sensitive, so we could potentially be seeing Omega in season 2 of Ahsoka, or in the Ahsoka movie, might actually getting a live action version of Omega, so there's that. Maybe at some point down the line, Omega actually completes Sabine's training for her or helps her reach that next step. Now, as far as understanding and actually me liking this direction that they're going in, or, this is also just theory at the end of the day, so we can't necessarily say that this is what it is, but it just seems like it's going in that direction. My first gut reaction is to hate it and just, be like any other Star Wars fan and just be pessimistic about it, but my other part of me just says, give it a chance at least. If they can make it make sense, then I'm not going to necessarily hate it. Now, the candidate who I think is actually going to train Omega is actually Asajj Ventress. As we all know, she was shown in the Bad Batch Season 3 finale trailer way back when it was first releasing. Now, as we know, Asajj is actually technically dead. But maybe in her comeback, once she sees Omega and sees that she's Force sensitive, she decides to go ahead and actually just train her. And similarly to Joel and Ellie, she decides to take her under her wing. At least that's a theory that I'm thinking of a little bit, kind of along those lines. Now, remember, this is just a theory. This is all just theory, so don't come out here thinking that this is, just take this with a grain of salt and just kind of make yourself think a little bit is pretty much what I'm trying to get at here. Just think about it. As us fans of Star Wars already know, Star Wars is actually a very deep thinking show and genre to have, so just think about it. That's pretty much what I want to do with this video. Now, I don't think that we'll be getting this in season 3 of Bad Batch, but it really would be cool to see. This is just kind of like an add-on thing that I'd like to see happen. Since the Empire is hiring bounty hunters to hunt people with midichlorian counts, I believe this would be a great time to introduce Boba into this series at least. As we all know, Boba has a connection with everybody in the, not everybody in the Empire, but mostly Vader, and understanding that he's actually one of the best bounty hunters that the Empire used at the time. We all know Boba's famous, but he's not famous yet in the galaxy where we're at right now. He's not famous just yet. So this would be a good time to actually have maybe even a spin-off show in the future, just showing Boba building his reputation. Now, this most recent episode of Bad Batch is something I'm going to start doing. I'm just going to start rating the episodes of what I think it is. So this episode of Bad Batch, I actually believe was probably around a 5 out of 10 in total, at least in terms of what I think of. And like its whole story-wise, it didn't really push forward the story as much. But in terms of what information we got, I believe that it could actually be up. In the theories that we got, it could be up to like a 6 or a 7. So good episode, nothing really too crazy or anything like that. But anyway, that's all I got for this video. Let me know your guys' thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. Did you guys like this episode of Bad Batch? I mean, as I said, I liked it before, but you know, I'm just not necessarily saying it's one of the greatest episodes for a side mission. It was pretty good, but also I know I didn't cover the entire episode. There's a whole swamp in the whole episode. I just don't feel like those parts are really important to push forward the theories that I wanted to talk about. Oh, and one last thing, I'm actually gonna start plugging in some kind of things, but I just wanted to say this. You guys matter, okay? Anybody who's looking at this and needs to hear this, please, you matter. Once I do more research, I'm gonna start plugging hotlines and stuff down in the bottom in the comment section or in the descriptions that you guys can contact if you guys ever feel like you guys need to talk to somebody. But please just remember, you guys matter. You really do. This world is better with you in it. I don't know what you're going through and I really can't compare myself, but I'm just saying, I just know you, some people who need to hear it. Please, you guys matter. That's all I got for this video. May the force be with you. Have a great rest of your day.